I am not tragically colored. There's no great sorrow dammed up in my soul, nor lurking behind my eyes. I do not belong to the sovereign school of Negrohood, who hold that nature somehow has given them a low-down dirty deal, and whose feelings are all hurt about it. No, I do not weep at the world. I am too busy sharpening my oyster knife.
The snippet that you just heard was from Zora Neale Hurston's famed work, How It Feels to Be Colored Me. Zora Neale Hurston was one of the most influential authors of the 20th century, but the majority of her praise she received as an author she received after her death. Born on January 7, 1891, she grew up in a time that saw the oppression of both women and African Americans. So, being an African American woman author, Hurston faced a lot of harsh and unfair criticism from both white and black critics. Growing up in Eatonville, Florida, during one of the first all-black towns in the United States, Hurston was exposed to travelers passing through on a daily basis. While waiting on the side of the road, she saw her first exposure to the world, and it became a foundation for her exploration of the human condition in the United States. Hurston attended Howard University, where she deepened her appreciation for literature and co-founded the school's newspaper. When she transferred to Barnard College in 1925, she found herself in the zenith of the Harlem Renaissance, and with her literary passions manifesting, she jumped headfirst into the movement. While in New York City, Hurston collaborated with other artists such as Langston Hughes and Wallace Thurman on a magazine called Fire. But unlike her collaborators, Hurston was not well received by her literary critics and was often dismissed. Hurston was ahead of her time, often straying away from proper English to fully encapsulate her characters, as well as her feminist texts were not seen as legitimate at the time. Hurston unfortunately died penniless with an unmarked grave, while following her death, as society caught up with some of her progressive views, Zora Neale Hurston has become an icon in the Harlem Renaissance and in African American literature. Some of her iconic books, Their Eyes Were Watching God and Barracoon, have become instant classics, as well as other texts and essays that she's written.